While the other contestants who entered the final round also vowed in their heart that they will definitely defeat alien Android 7 to prove Saiyans' glory. After lunch, all the Saiyans on Planet Vegeta walked towards the 65th arena, the venue for the final round of Planet Vegeta's martial arts tournament. The venue for the 65th arena is huge with a length and width of 1,000 meters, which is bigger than the venue for the preliminaries. Moreover, it's different from the arenas in the preliminaries as the venue for the final round has audience seats. Like a Roman Colosseum, the audience seats were like an orderly flight of stairs, and in the middle, there is a special stone-paved martial arts arena, each 600 meters long and wide. The final round will be held here. As the king of Saiyans, Lin Chen naturally has his own VIP seat. Besides Lin Chen's two wives, there were only old officials like King Vegeta, Bardock and their families who were fortunate enough to sit with him. Now I announce that the final round of the first Planet Vegeta's martial arts tournament will begin now. With Lin Chen giving his permission with a nod, the temporary host Paragus announced the start of the round in a loud voice. After a round of cheers, the first match began. Those who can enter the final round through Battle Royale are all the elites on Planet Vegeta. The one-on-one showdown between them, although not as large-scale as the previous Battle Royale, was much more intense and exciting. Which caused every spectator's blood to race when they watched them. As for Lin Chen, although they were like chickens pecking at each other in his eyes, but it didn't prevent him from treating it as watching a movie. Especially when among the contestants, there was Vegeta, who he is very interested in. As the child of the former Saiyan king, Vegeta is truly gifted. Among Saiyans of the same age, there is hardly anyone stronger than him. After entering the top 64, there was not much difference in strength between them since every contestant had passed through the tough battle royale. Therefore, during the fights, many people had a closely fought contest. Only on Vegeta's side, no matter who his opponent was, he insta-killed them overwhelmingly. Even when facing an elite warrior with a power level surpassing 500,000, Vegeta had an overwhelming advantage. With just a few moves, the elite warrior with a power level of over 500,000 fell under Vegeta's hands. His performance immediately attracted a burst of cheers from the spectators. It is no longer simply the difference in power level. In terms of fighting talent and techniques, Vegeta has completely won against all opponents. Come on, brother Vegeta. Win the championship. You are the strongest. In the venue, a Saiyan who looked somewhat similar to Vegeta shouted from below. Vegeta, who had just won the match, glanced at him and walked off the arena with a look of disdain, not responding to anyone's cheers. Is that Tarbell? Lin Chen asked King Vegeta, pointing to that Saiyan. Yes. King Vegeta said with an embarrassed look, this kid is student. If it was in the past, he would have been sent to a remote planet by me. Thanks to your majesty's kindness, he was able to live on Planet Vegeta. But, until now, his power level is still less than 10,000. I don't think there is any hope for him. Not necessarily. Lin Chen touched his chin. As far as he knew, Tarbell was a rare kind-hearted Saiyan who was born with a righteous heart. Counting Goku and Son Gohan, there are now 3 Saiyans who he can be sure of having a righteous heart. The legendary Super Saiyan God can be achieved by gathering 6 Saiyans with a righteous heart. So maybe in the future, Tarbell's strength can come in handy. Compared with Vegeta's smooth sailing, the others had to struggle arduously. Raditz, who was lucky enough to pass through the battle royale, lost later on and was eliminated. TCH. Raditz, if you had spent more time in the gravity chamber, that guy just now would have been no match for you. When Raditz left the arena with an embarrassed look on his face, Vegeta down below said distantly. I'm sorry, Vegeta. Raditz looked embarrassed, and at the same time was a little afraid of Vegeta's expression, but luckily at this time, Tarbell's arrival eased the atmosphere at the scene. Brother Raditz, don't be discouraged. It's already quite amazing that you can reach the final round. Not counting our father and his majesty Lynx, your strength can already enter the top 100 of Planet Vegeta. Hahaha, it seems like that. When Raditz heard this, a look of joy appeared on his face. Only Vegeta still looked unhappy. Tarbell, you talk too much. I'm sorry, bro. Wah. Just then, an exclamation suddenly sounded from the spectators. Vegeta and the others turned around and saw a Saiyan warrior, whose neck was being clutched with one hand by alien android 7, struggling in pain. In order to break free from 7's hands, the Saiyan kept releasing energy bullets at him with both hands, but when they hit 7, it had no effect other than creating some smoke and dust. In the end, after exhausting his remaining strength, the Saiyan passed out completely and was easily thrown off the arena by 7. After winning, 7 didn't go down immediately for some reason. Instead, he sneered at Vegeta down below before leaving. Brother Vegeta, that alien android Tarbell looked at Vegeta in confusion. However, Vegeta crossed his arms and didn't explain. In the end, Raditz revealed the reason. Tarbell, that 7 was originally called Chui, an elite warrior under the Frieza force. Before we Saiyans rebelled against Frieza, your brother and I used to be in the same squad as him. That guy didn't like Saiyans and often quarreled with us. Raditz. Vegeta suddenly shouted, causing Raditz to immediately shut up. He is just a trash. If he thinks that after being transformed into a puppet, he can defeat the great Saiyans, I'll show him the reality with my own hands. Vegeta clenched his fists and sneered. But as much as he disdains Chui that was transformed into android, it doesn't change the fact that Chui, who is now alien android 7, reached the final round in just as overwhelming manner as he did. In the end, the final of Planet Vegeta's martial arts tournament turned out to be Vegeta challenging alien android 7. When Vegeta stepped into the arena, all the Saiyans shouted his name loudly. Everyone was looking forward to Vegeta winning the final. Otherwise, it would be a great shame for all Saiyans on Planet Vegeta if an android really became the champion of the martial arts tournament. Vegeta! 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 As Saiyans shouted, the final match for the championship was about to begin. Your Majesty, do you want me to talk to Dr. Gero? He should be able to give orders to alien android. Before the match began, Paragus sneaked over and whispered in Lin Chen's ear. Lin Chen frowned. Why, you want Dr. Gero to throw the match? Your Majesty, this is the first martial arts tournament of Planet Vegeta. If an android becomes the champion. So what? Lin Chen said disdainfully, if Dr. Gero's android really becomes the champion, it can only mean that Saiyans on Planet Vegeta are too weak, and their training is far from enough. Okay, I understand. Paragus withdrew with an embarrassed look on his face. After he left, Tights, who was sitting next to him, asked, Actidant, he was redant. If an android becomes the champion of the first martial arts tournament, will you have any reputation as a king? Lin Chen shook his head. It seems that none of you are optimistic about Vegeta. Don't worry, I don't think he will lose. Lin Chen was very confident about Lin Chen. At this moment, the two people in the arena had already started a pre-match conversation. Humph, aren't you King Vegeta's son? I didn't expect my last opponent to be you. Chui smiled happily. Oh. Vegeta sneered, it looks like you still have your memories. I thought that after being transformed into a puppet, you would have no consciousness of your own. Dr. Gero's technical skills are far beyond your imagination, Vegeta. Chui sneered back. Vegeta looked disdainful. In the end, you are just a puppet. Come, Chui, let me beat you into scrap metal again. Cui's face became ugly. Arrogant guy, do you know that your power level is much lower than mine? You are not my opponent. Is that so? Suddenly, without any hesitation, Vegeta threw an energy wave at Chui. Chui didn't expect that Vegeta would immediately attack as soon as he said it. He waved his hand in order to block Vegeta's energy wave. But at this moment, an alarm suddenly rang out in Cui's mind, and he discovered that there was something amiss with the scouter reading of the energy wave thrown by Vegeta. Chui immediately stopped and hurriedly dodged. Immediately afterwards, he saw the energy wave collide against the energy barrier around the arena. The astonishing energy caused the barrier to turn red all of a sudden. This is a sign that the defensive power of the barrier was approaching its limit. What? Seeing this scene, Chui turned pale with fright. Isn't Vegeta's power level only 530,000? How could the energy wave he casually threw out have so much power? Bastard! This is impossible. In terms of power level, I am far ahead of him. Chui was incensed. Dr. Gero's magical body modification technology is that the modified person will still retain his original memories and emotions, and not directly be transformed into another person like in science fiction novels. So despite being modified, Cui's personality is still as short-tempered as before. The next moment, he waved his hand and a ball of light that was also full of energy rushed towards Vegeta. Idiot! But, Vegeta was long prepared and easily dodged it by flying away. However, Chui was also prepared. Almost at the same time as Vegeta jumped up, he flew over, chasing after Vegeta in the sky to start a close-range fight. Bang, bang, bang. The sound of two fists colliding constantly resounded in the air. Everyone's eyes widened, attentively watching their fight. Some also clenched their fists, fearing that Saiyan's last hope, Vegeta, would lose against him. But with a bang sound, the final result of their close-range fight was that Chui was punched into the arena, smashing a deep pit in the hardened arena. How is this possible? It's clear that my power level is stronger. Chui, who had fallen to the ground, was puzzled. Idiot! Vegeta sneered, use your scouter again properly to see my strength. What? Hearing this, Chui again turned on the scouter and immediately became dumbfounded. Not only Chui, the audience in the spectators' seats also turned on their scouter after hearing Vegeta's words. As a result, they found through the scouter that Vegeta's power level was gradually increasing. 540-000-550-000-630-000. In the end, his power level increased to 650,000 before it stopped. This is impossible. This is impossible. Although it has been modified into an android, cold sweat still rolled down Cui's purple face. Humph. A puppet like you of course wouldn't understand. This is a skill I comprehended after learning Ki sense. Vegeta said. Ki sense. Chui knows what it is. It should be the teaching material spreaden by Lin Chen on Planet Vegeta a few years ago to teach Saiyans how to sense Ki, but what does this have to do with Vegeta's current power level increase? Seeing his puzzled expression, Vegeta sneered, it seems you don't understand. In fact, besides sensing Ki, you can also manipulate Ki. I usually conserve a portion of Ki to reduce the burden on my body. Then, when fighting, I can instantly erupt out these conserved Ki and improve my power level. So, my real power level is actually 650,000. Not 530,000 as you thought. 650,000. Cui's face turned pale, and he took a step back involuntarily. At this time, Vegeta suddenly adopted a special posture. And then, it is this technique, which can further improve my power level. An astonishing amount of energy condensed between Vegeta's hands. Everyone around was surprised to find that Vegeta's power level had really increased again. 650,000,600,000,700,720,000. Vegeta has actually condensed his energy and raised the power level. Someone in the audience exclaimed. The corner of Lin Chen's mouth twitched. He is indeed Vegeta. I only recently spread Ki sense throughout Planet Vegeta, but he was able to figure out so many things from it. Seeing that the energy in Vegeta's hands was continuing to increase, Chui completely panicked and shouted, "Vegeta, stop, stop. Sir." Before he could finish speaking, his voice was swallowed by Vegeta's sudden loud shout. "A mere puppet wants to become champion on Planet Vegeta? I, Vegeta, will defend Saiyan's glory. Gallic gun." Vegeta's hands condensed a mass of white radiance which shot directly towards Chui like a long dragon. Chui couldn't dodge the wildly rushing energy, so he could only raise his hands to try to block the move. Boom! However, how could such a violent power be blocked by Chui? With a loud sound that shook the entire planet, Chui was completely drowned in the turbulent flow of light. After engulfing Chui, Vegeta's Gallic gun did not stop. Instead it continued forward before hitting the energy barrier. Not good. Seeing the energy barrier quickly turn red, Vegeta was startled and stopped his technique. But the destructive power of the Gallic gun didn't stop because he stopped the technique. Like glass shattering, the Gallic gun's energy shattered the strongest energy barrier system that Bardock purchased for this final round from Trade Alliance, and continued towards the spectators' seats outside the barrier. Oh no! The Saiyans in the spectator's seat exclaimed and their auras erupted out one after another, wanting to hurriedly dodge, but seeing that the energy wave was about to arrive, it seemed that a disaster was about to happen. But at this moment, a figure suddenly appeared in front of Gallic gun and stretched out his hand in front of the blue energy wave. Then pinched it easily. Boom! The arena turned completely white, and the special skill that Vegeta used with all his strength turned into nothing in an instant. This. Vegeta was relieved and shocked, and he saw that his full strength attack was easily neutralized like this, and his whole body turned numb. And after being in a daze for a moment, the Saiyans behind the figure shouted maniacally and excitedly. "Long live His Majesty Lynx! Long live His Majesty Lynx! Long live His Majesty Lynx!" The figure who easily prevented a disaster was none other than the King of Saiyans, Lin Chen. When everyone present at the scene came back to their senses, Paragus, who was the temporary host, shouted immediately. "I announce that the champion of the first Planet Vegeta's martial arts tournament is, Vegeta." The cheers sounded again, but this time the protagonist changed from Lin Chen to Vegeta. In the midst of these cheers, Paragus asked, "Vegeta, now you can choose to exercise the power of champion and challenge anyone from the current 3 Super Saiyans on Planet Vegeta. Bardock, Hanasia, and the strongest king of Saiyans, His Majesty Lynx. Vegeta, who will you choose?" At this moment, the place fell silent for a moment, and everyone was wondering who Vegeta would choose. In most people's minds, Vegeta might challenge Bardock. After all, among the 3 Super Saiyans, Hanasia is the queen and a woman, so it is not appropriate to challenge her. And there is nothing to say about Lynx. Vegeta's all-out attack just now couldn't even wound the skin on Lynx's body. What's the point of challenging him? It is much more appropriate to challenge the new Super Saiyan Bardock. Originally, the challenge reward was to give the champion of the martial arts tournament a rare experience. Because normally, neither Bardock nor Hanasia would spar with others. So, it is a rare opportunity to experience the power of Super Saiyan for yourself. However, to everyone's surprise, Vegeta pointed at Lin Chen. "Your Majesty Lynx, I want to challenge you." The place immediately fell silent. Many people were dumbfounded, and even King Vegeta looked at his son with a puzzled expression. "Challenge Lin Chen? Didn't you see how easily your special skill was neutralized by Lin Chen? So, what is there to challenge? It's just humiliating yourself. Vegeta, are you sure you want to challenge me?" Lin Chen looked at Vegeta and said indifferently. Hearing this, Vegeta clenched his fists and said, "Of course. Your Majesty Lynx, I've always been aiming to defeat you." This thought had long been brewing in Vegeta's mind. Back then, when Lin Chen had merged with the legendary Super Saiyan bloodline and returned to Planet Vegeta, and he insta-killed Tolls and his group while in pseudo-Super Saiyan form. The young Vegeta was also there. Lin Chen's extraordinary strength gave the young Vegeta a powerful shock. Since then, he has been aiming for Lin Chen as his target and constantly training hard. Hearing Vegeta's words, Lin Chen's face flashed with a smile, then he took out a senzu bean from his pocket and threw it to him. I accept your challenge, eat it. Vegeta took over the senzu bean and instantly recovered. At the same time, Lin Chen also landed in the arena. Vegeta, I'll just stand here, as long as you don't make me move one step, you win. Lin Chen's words sounded arrogant, but no one felt that there was anything wrong. After all, Lin Chen's strength is obvious to all. Only Vegeta looked unwilling. Your Majesty Lynx, don't look down on me. Then prove yourself. Okay. Vegeta let out an unwilling shot and instantly closed distance with Lin Chen and then went into a hand-to-hand fight with him. Bang, bang, bang. Fierce explosions kept shaking the spectators' eardrums. Every punch and every kick of Vegeta erupted out with violent power, which seemed almost unblockable. However, Lin Chen, who was opposite him, had a calm expression on his face, and he didn't even move his body. He just relied on one finger and easily blocked all of Vegeta's attacks. Vegeta, is this your full strength? Ah! Vegeta's palms condensed ki and like a machine gun, he shot out energy balls at Lin Chen. But even these explosive energy balls were easily pierced with just one finger by Lin Chen. None of them could hit Lin Chen's body. After a while, Vegeta was already exhausted, but Lin Chen still looked relaxed. The huge disparity caused Vegeta to become dissatisfied. Your Majesty! Can you transform into Super Saiyan? I want to know how far apart we are. Vegeta said unwillingly. Lin Chen smiled, okay, you are the champion, so I can satisfy your requirement. Hearing this, Vegeta jumped back and looked at Lin Chen with full attention. The atmosphere of the venue suddenly became tense. All the people present could feel an enormous amount of energy erupting out in the arena. After a golden light flashed, Lin Chen transformed into Super Saiyan exuding a golden aura. The endless power caused Vegeta to tremble involuntarily. In the audience, the sound of swallowing saliva could be heard. After so many years, many people have almost forgotten how powerful Lin Chen is after his transformation. But since he promised Vegeta, Lin Chen never thought of just showing people his Super Saiyan state. The next moment, he suddenly shouted and a yellow-green energy aura flashed past everyone before the huge arena shattered because of the astonishing power. Lin Chen transformed into legendary Super Saiyan looking like a demon god and appeared in front of everyone. Vegeta, it was just a normal transformation just now, this is my true Super Saiyan form. I call it legendary Super Saiyan. All the Saiyans present at the scene were stunned, their bodies trembling involuntarily. Many people stood up from their seats and knelt down to Lin Chen. It was the fear of legendary Super Saiyan that came from the bottom of their hearts. And Vegeta, who was closest to Lin Chen, suddenly burst into tears of unwillingness. So the disparity between him and Lin Chen was so huge. Not reconciled. There is no need for that, I can have this transformation because of bloodline. Legendary Super Saiyan is a special bloodline that only appears in 1,000 years. But even without the help of the bloodline, as long as you train diligently, you can still surpass me. Surpass your Majesty? Vegeta clenched his fists and made a decision in his heart. Okay, then let's end it like this. Lin Chen said lightly, and then flicked a finger towards Vegeta. Immediately afterwards, as if his body was hit by a huge force, Vegeta's body shot out like a piece of paper and landed outside the arena before passing out. The venue of the final round of Planet Vegeta's martial arts tournament. Everyone looked at the man in the arena with a shocked look. It was the King of Saiyans. It can be said that since the fight with Tolls, there have been many people who have forgotten the terror of being suppressed by Lin Chen's aura. There were also some people from the younger generation who had never seen Lin Chen's true strength. Today, at Vegeta's request, Lin Chen's legendary Super Saiyan form, which erupted out with all its strength, finally allowed them to recall their memories. Powerful, invincible, domineering. This is their king of Saiyans. Dr. Gero blinked his eyes and gulped. He didn't know Ki's sense and didn't know the terror of Lin Chen, but the scouter on his face clearly showed him the power of Lin Chen. Power level 360 million. Compared to Lin Chen, the latest alien android 7 built by him with painstaking effort is a joke. Too strong. Such powerful energy. Retracting his aura, Lin Chen turned around and flew towards his seat. Behind him, Bardock stood up and announced in a loud voice, "The first Planet Vegeta's martial arts tournament ends here. Next, the rewards will be presented by His Majesty Lynx. Will all the contestants who have won the award please come forward?" Next, it was the time for the award ceremony of the martial arts tournament. In addition to rewarding the top 3 Tree of Might's fruits, as long as a contestant entered the final round, they can get a chance to have their potential unlocked by Lin Chen. Of course, there are actually already many people whose potential has been improved by Lin Chen, such as Vegeta, who was recommended because of his outstanding performance when he went out to perform missions, so Lin Chen unlocked his potential. But for those whose potential hasn't been unlocked, Lin Chen's award is undoubtedly a great honor. When these people's power level was boosted under the guidance of Lin Chen, everyone revealed an envious look. After that, Lin Chen personally gave Tree of Might's fruits to the top 3. Although Cui, who was in second place, died, it did not prevent Lin Chen from handing over the reward directly to Dr. Gero. And just like that, the first Planet Vegeta's martial arts tournament came to an end. Although the young Vegeta suffered a crushing defeat to Lin Chen, his performance still won everyone's respect. Now on Planet Vegeta, some people have begun to regard him as the future second expert of Planet Vegeta under Lin Chen. While they still wanted more of the tournament, many people also began to look forward to the second martial arts tournament 10 years later. They hoped that 10 years later, they would also be able to stand in the final round in front of everyone. So, after the martial arts tournament ended, many people started a new wave of training. At this time, Lin Chen was feeling a little troubled. According to how this martial arts tournament went, in the future, I am afraid that the Tree of Might's fruits can no longer be used as a reward for the tournament. In order to motivate everyone, it seems that he needs to find a better prize to replace it. What prizes are available? After the martial arts tournament was over, he sent the perfectly satisfied Tights away, then called Bardock and the others over to discuss. Hearing Lin Chen's question, King Vegeta said, "Your Majesty, in terms of prize, what could be a better prize than fulfilling a wish?" Wish? Yes, did you forget Planet Namekians Dragon Balls? King Vegeta laughed. Lin Chen shook his head, "That's not appropriate. Since the Great Elder left, our partnership with Planet Namek has basically ended." At that time, Lin Chen was able to borrow Planet Namekians Dragon Balls many times because of his reputation with the Great Elder. This friendship already ended after Lin Chen fulfilled Great Elder's last wish. The relationship between the new Great Elder Slug and Lin Chen is far less warm than the previous Great Elder. Moreover, it was the Great Elder who requested for a favor from Lin Chen before, so Lin Chen borrowed the Dragon Balls when needed. It wouldn't work with the current Slug as he has 5 million power level, which is enough to ensure the safety of Planet Namek, so the relationship between the two sides have greatly weakened. Although Lin Chen can use force to coerce them, unless necessary, there is no need to do so. Even so, King Vegeta's idea reminded Lin Chen something. If only I could create Dragon Balls. If he can create Dragon Balls, although he may not use them, there is no doubt that when he encounters a problem that he cannot solve by himself, he can give himself or the people around him more choices. Moreover, as a Dragon Ball fan, who hasn't had a dream of holding Dragon Balls in their hand and making whatever wishes they want? Right. Create Dragon Balls. Thinking of this, Lin Chen stood up and said to the others, "Everyone, that's all for today. I've thought of something, so I'll leave first." After saying that, Lin Chen performed instant transmission, leaving behind the others looking at each other helplessly, not knowing what was going on. A moment later, Zuno's planet. Lin Chen was once again meeting Master Zuno, who he hadn't seen in a long time. "Long time no see, Zuno." Seeing Lin Chen, Zuno's face suddenly turned panicked, and the samurai servants below him were too nervous to speak. Seeing their frightened faces, Lin Chen smiled and waved his hand. "Don't be nervous, I'm just here to ask questions. By the way, I've prepared a tribute this time." Then, he took out 2 Tree of Might's fruits. Zuno was surprised when he saw them. "You actually have Tree of Might's fruits? Such a good thing." After taking the Tree of Might's fruit, Zuno didn't let anyone bring it away, instead he just ate it directly. "It really is something that can only be enjoyed by gods, it's delicious." "Okay, Lin Chen, what question do you want to ask this time?" "I want to obtain the ability to create Dragon Balls." "Is it possible?" Lin Chen asked. "Create Dragon Balls?" Zuno was stunned for a moment, and after swallowing the remaining fruit in his hand, he cleared his throat and said, "The manufacturing technology of Dragon Balls is the unique ability given to Namekians by the great dragon god Zalama. If you want to obtain the manufacturing ability of Dragon Balls, you need to obtain the permission of the dragon god Zalama-sama, or use the Super Dragon Balls created by Dragon God Zalama-sama to make a wish. Get the consent of the Dragon God Zalama, or find the Super Dragon Balls." Hearing Zuno's words, Lin Chen's eyes lit up. But he immediately frowned. Dragon God Zalama, that is a mysterious character whose name was the only thing that was heard in the original work, but no one saw him. How could he find him? And even if he can find him, Dragon God would not necessarily agree to his request. As for the Super Dragon Balls, according to Lin Chen's understanding of the original work, after the Super Dragon Balls were created by the Dragon God Zalama, they scattered throughout Universe 6 and Universe 7. If he is going to gather them, he needs to travel to another universe, but traveling back and forth between universes is the ability of gods and angels. How can he easily go over? And even if he could go there, according to the description in the original work, Angel of Universe 6 would find his trace immediately. When the time comes, how should he deal with that angel? That was an existence whose strength exceeds God of Destruction. With his current strength, he wouldn't even have the chance to resist when facing an angel. So, what exactly should he do? Forget it. Lin Chen shook his head. Instead of letting his imagination run wild, it is better to take one step at a time. Thinking of this, Lin Chen asked Zuno, "Zuno, I want to know how to learn the divine language." Zuno replied, "Divine language is something that only gods can grasp. It is impossible for mortals to learn, unless they rely on the power of gods." "What about Dragon Balls?" Lin Chen asked. "Purunga of planet Namek might be able to." "That's it." Lin Chen then asked, "Zuno, do you know how to travel to other universes?" Zuno replied, "Going to other universes requires the use of divine power, or the skills taught by the gods." Skills taught by gods. In order to facilitate movement, gods are usually bestowed with instant transmission ability. God's instant transmission ability is different from Yardration's instant transmission. As long as you know the destination, you can teleport. With this ability, Supreme Kai and his attendant can freely travel between different universes. Hearing Zuno's explanation, Lin Chen was overjoyed. It turns out that he already knows the way to go to other universes. Isn't instant transmission that Zuno is talking about Kibito's instant transmission? And he just happens to possess this technique. The only problem is that he doesn't know the position of Universe 6. However, he already has a solution for this. "Thank you, Zuno, that's all for now, goodbye." Overjoyed, after Lin Chen said goodbye to Zuno, he performed instant transmission and went directly to planet Namek. After arriving on planet Namek once again, Lin Chen could feel that a lot of things has changed. After not seeing planet Namek for 3 years, its population has gotten much larger than before. Lin Chen could clearly feel that there were many new auras on the planet, and there were even a few auras that were not inferior to nails. After pondering for a moment, Lin Chen realized that it should be the children birthed by the new Great Elder Slug. In the past, planet Namek's population has not grown much, possibly due to the Great Elder being advanced in years. But Slug is different from the Great Elder. Relying on the power of the Dragon Balls, he regained his youth and now he is in the prime of his life, so naturally, he is much better than the Great Elder in terms of increasing population. After sensing the auras on the planet, Lin Chen teleported and arrived at the former residence of the Great Elder. Much has changed here compared to other places. What used to be only one house has now become a new village, where at least dozens of Namekians were building houses and planting trees. When Lin Chen appeared, several warrior-type Namekians in the village immediately sensed Lin Chen's aura and flew over into the sky. "Who are you?" Lin Chen glanced at them and found that their power level ranged between 10 to 20,000. They were much more powerful than the previous warrior-type Namekians who used to have a power level in the range of several thousand. Plus they didn't recognize him, so it's clear that they must be the new Namekians who were born in these 3 years. Just when Lin Chen was about to answer, another person flew up from below. "It's okay, he is not an enemy. He is a guest of the Great Elder." The person who arrived was his old acquaintance Nail. He flew over in front of Lin Chen and said, "Lin Chen, long time no see. It's been 3 years since you last came here." "Well, Nail, I'm here this time as usual to ask a favor." "Are you here for Dragon Balls?" But let me remind you in advance that the attitude of the new Great Elder towards Dragon Balls is different from that of the old Elder. Under the lead of Nail, Lin Chen arrived in the village and not the house on the cliff in the distance. When he saw Slug, he was instructing a few little Namekians on how to plant trees. "Saiyan, are you here to borrow the Dragon Balls?" Stopping what he was doing, Slug raised his head. "Yes, I have 2 wishes that I want to make, so I would like to ask the Great Elder for help." "I see." Slug nodded. "But Saiyan, I can help you this time, but I won't be able to do it the next time." Although not unexpected, Lin Chen still couldn't help but ask, "May I ask, why?" Slug said, "In the past, I have never understood why even though Namekian had Dragon Balls, they went through so much hardship. But, ever since I merged with the previous Great Elder, I finally understood. The power of the Dragon Balls is something that defies the natural order. This power cannot be used indiscriminately, otherwise, it will cause an unimaginable catastrophe. The extinction of planet Namek in the past was caused by Namekian's indiscriminate use of the power of Dragon Balls. So Saiyan, this is the last time we can allow you to use the Dragon Balls." Hearing Slug's explanation, Lin Chen's eyes could not help but become solemn. When he heard Slug's words just now, the first thing that came to his mind was the setting of the negative energy of Dragon Balls in Dragon Ball GT. According to this setting, the role of Dragon Balls is mainly to use the power of miracles to smooth out the negative energy and chaotic forces generated in the process of universe functioning, as well fulfilling personal wishes. If they are used indiscriminately, Dragon Balls will be contaminated with negative energy. The accumulation of these negative energies will lead to huge disasters. Could it be that the disaster of planet Namek was because of Namekian's indiscriminate use of Dragon Balls? So in the future, if he creates his own Dragon Balls, will he also encounter such a danger? There is indeed such a possibility. But even so, it can't shake Lin Chen's determination to find a way to create Dragon Balls. As for negative energy, he is someone who has a system. When that time comes, he can always find a solution, right? Soon after, Slug made arrangements and Purunga was summoned again. Facing Purunga, Lin Chen made 2 wishes. "Purunga, I hope to learn divine language at Supreme Kai level." "Purunga, I wish to know Universe 6 No, the star coordinates of all the universes which can allow me to use instant transmission to go to these universes. The first wish is very simple. But the second wish cannot be fulfilled. I can only give you random coordinates of other universes. As for the specific star coordinates of each universe, it is beyond my ability. Random coordinates are fine. As long as I can use instant transmission. As Purunga's eyes lit up with red light, Lin Chen's mind shook, and soon, a whole new language appeared in his mind. In addition, there were also coordinates of the 11 universes in his mind. Now if he wants to go to other universes, it is only a matter of thought. After making 2 wishes, Namekians didn't want to use the remaining third wish, so he just let Purunga withdraw. As the Purunga ascended into the sky, the 7 Dragon Balls immediately scattered all over planet Namek, and the entire sky became bright again. Slug turned around and said, "Okay Saiyan, your wish has been fulfilled. From now on, we, planet Namek and you, will no longer owe each other. I understand, but Great Elder, if you encounter any crisis in the future, you can still contact Planet Vegeta." Lin Chen said. Slug shook his head and said, "No need, the peace of planet Namek will be protected by the Namekians themselves." Having grasped the divine language and the method to go to other universes, Lin Chen was lacking just one last crucial thing to look for Super Dragon Balls. The last thing left is to get the Dragon Ball radar that can find the Dragon Balls. For that, it is natural to go look for Bulma's help. Therefore, Lin Chen's next stop was on Earth. Super Dragon Ball is just the enlarged version of Dragon Ball, so the ordinary Dragon Ball radar only needs to be improved and upgraded, expanding the detection range and modifying the map of the radar. It's not a difficult job, so after learning Lin Chen's requirements, Bulma quickly got busy. When Bulma was busy with her work, Tights was pestering Lin Chen. "Lin Chen, are you going to look for Dragon Balls? Lin Chen, is there really a Dragon Ball the size of a planet in this world? Lin Chen, take me with you, okay?" Knowing that Lin Chen was going to look for the Super Dragon Balls, Tights' curiosity couldn't be suppressed, and she also wanted to go with him. In fact, it was not just her, Bulma was also clearly very interested. After all, Bulma had also once looked for the Dragon Balls. But seeing Tights' request, Bulma didn't want to be a third wheel. Lin Chen could do nothing about the pestering Tights, but looking for the Dragon Balls is not that simple, especially going to the unfamiliar Universe 6, the danger is unpredictable. So Lin Chen refused. But who would have thought that after not being able to persuade him, Tights would go look for Han-Asia, and the two of them begged Lin Chen together. In the end, it was Tights' one sentence that moved Lin Chen. "Lin Chen, do you know that Goku's child is already 2 years old?" This sentence finally destroyed Lin Chen's psychological defense. Indeed, Goku got Chi-Chi pregnant just a few months after getting married. In contrast, Lin Chen has been married to Han-Asia and Tights for a few years and still hasn't had a child with either of them. I wonder what the problem could be. Lin Chen even suspect that it might be because he had merged with the legendary Super Saiyan bloodline. But no matter what, he felt a little sorry for the two of them. As he is going to search for the Super Dragon Balls, maybe it will also take a long time, and the time with the two of them may naturally be less. Thinking of this, Lin Chen's heart softened, and he had to agree to their request of traveling together. 3 months later, Lin Chen brought Han-Asia and Tights on a spaceship modified by Dr. Brief himself and refitted with Galactic Patrol's latest high-speed technology, and embarked on a journey to find the Super Dragon Balls. The group's first stop was the center of the universe. Earth is located at the periphery of the universe, and the search range of the Super Dragon Ball's radar is too narrow here. Only at the center of the universe, the radar is useful for searching the whereabouts of the Super Dragon Balls. However, in order to go to the center of the universe, it is not necessary for Lin Chen and the others to fly over in a spaceship. After the spaceship flew out of Earth, Lin Chen put Tights and Han-Asia in spacesuits, while he opened the protective cover and the three of them left the spaceship together. After putting the spaceship into the Hoi Poi capsule, Lin Chen pulled the two of them and used instant transmission and went directly to the center of the universe. There, Lin Chen used the Dragon Ball radar, and then quickly locked the whereabouts of the first Super Dragon Ball. After using instant transmission to get near the Dragon Ball, the three of them got on the spaceship again and flew towards the Dragon Ball. Lin Chen could not teleport over there directly by relying on the approximate direction displayed by the radar. At this time, it is more convenient to use the spaceship. For this trip to find the Dragon Balls, Lin Chen asked Dr. Brief to help modify the spaceship, which not only ranks among the best in speed, but also combines comfort and functionality. In addition to the living space, there is even a gravity training room with its own 300x gravity adjustment, and there are also 10 experimental artificial Cybermen too, provided by Drive Gero. These artificial Cybermen are the new type of pure mechanical androids created by Dr. Gero based on the data of alien Android 7, which was destroyed by Vegeta in the martial arts tournament. Their outward appearance looks like Chui with a layer of metallic paint, but each has a power level of up to 400,000, which is 4 times more than the previous number 1. When Tights was in the bedroom writing the travel notes of this trip to find the Dragon Balls, Lin Chen and Han Asia would train with these artificial Cybermen in the gravity chamber. After flying for another 3 days, the spaceship, which was sailing silent, suddenly triggered the alarm. The next moment, Lin Chen, who was sweating in the gravity chamber, ran out and rushed towards the pilot's cabin. Inside the pilot's cabin, Han Asia and Tights had already arrived. Lin Chen, according to the position displayed by the Dragon Ball radar, the first Super Dragon Ball should be nearby. In the pilot's cabin, Tights looked at the Super Dragon Ball radar mounted on the dashboard and said. Hearing this, Lin Chen turned to look towards the deep universe outside the porthole, searching for signs of the Super Dragon Ball. From what Lin Chen saw in the Dragon Ball, the size of the Super Dragon Ball is nearly much larger than many planets. The diameter of a Super Dragon Ball is almost 37,000 kilometers. Compared with it, Earth is just a small marble. With such an enormous size, it should be very conspicuous. At this time. Found it. Hearing Lin Chen's exclamation, Tights and Han Asia immediately came over and looked out the porthole. They could see an orange-red giant planet like Jupiter not far away from them. That's the Dragon Ball. It isn't a planet. Tights exclaimed. Although Tights had never seen Planet Namekians Dragon Balls, but having seen Earth ones, she really couldn't associate the object in front of her, which is larger than an average planet, with the Dragon Ball in her impression. But Han Asia pointed to the surface of the planet and said, "It's a Dragon Ball. Look, there are symbols of star on it. This is a 4-star bead." Looking at the Super Dragon Ball that was bigger than an average planet, Lin Chen also revealed shock on his face. Although he had seen them in the anime, after seeing one with his own eyes, he couldn't help but be startled by its astonishing size. "Lin Chen, how are you going to move such a big Dragon Ball?" Han Asia asked. "With the size of the Dragon Ball, I'm afraid it would require at least several hundred battleship-level spaceships just to move it. In fact, in the original work, only by relying on the powers of Whis and Vados, the Super Dragon Balls could be moved in one place. Fortunately, compared with the Aborigines in this world, Lin Chen has one more method in his hands. You guys wait here, I'm going to collect the Dragon Balls." After saying that, Lin Chen teleported near the Dragon Ball. Looking at the huge Dragon Ball whose end couldn't be seen, Lin Chen took a deep breath. To put such a huge thing into the system space, I wonder if it will work. "Rise!" Lin Chen shouted, and his thoughts moved, and the next moment, the Dragon Ball in front of him really disappeared. He turned to check his system space, and there really was a Super Dragon Ball in it. One day, on a huge barren planet, flashes from explosions continued to erupt out with flames soaring into the sky on the surface of the planet. A figure, like a demon from hell, was unrestrainedly massacring the people on the planet. "Monster, monster! Can no one stop him? What about King Cooler's reinforcements? Is he going to abandon us?" Boom! Boom! After green energy balls fell down like a torrential rain from the sky, all the wailing on the planet completely disappeared. The green energy balls exploded like fireworks, destroying all the man-made buildings on the planet, leaving nothing behind. In the end, when the entire planet became dead silent, Lin Chen paused for a while. After making sure that he could not sense any aura, he flew high into the sky, rushed out of the planet's thin atmosphere, looked down below, and a powerful telekinesis was exerted on the planet. Telekinesis caused the entire planet to suddenly tremble. The ground began to crack and collapse. And higher above the planet, a spaceship was suspended in the sky. Hanasia and Tights, who were looking at the changes on the planet under them, suddenly shouted. "What is that? There's something under the ground." The two of them watched nervously as the colony planet that used to be called Planet Cooler 89 suddenly revealed its true face that had been hidden for tens of millions of years. "It's a Dragon Ball. This planet is indeed a Super Dragon Ball," Tights shouted. It turns out that when the ground cracked, there was another layer of golden land underneath the surface. And the true face of this land is the Super Dragon Ball. It's a 6-star bead. "Now, we have found 3 Super Dragon Balls," Hanasia said after confirming the number of stars on the Dragon Ball. Following her shout, Lin Chen flew to the planet again, waved his hand, and put the 6-star bead into his system space. Meanwhile, somewhere in the universe, Cooler Force headquarters. A soldier was hurriedly rushing towards a room, but was soon blocked by 3 people of Cooler Armored Squadron. "Halt! What happened?" asked Salza, the leader of the Cooler Armored Squadron. "Lord Salza. We just received news from Planet Cooler 89 that they suspect that they are being attacked by a Super Saiyan," the soldier said in panic. "Super Saiyan? Cooler 89 and Saiyan's sphere of influence doesn't border. Why did they attack there? Could it be a mistake?" Salza wondered. But the soldier said, "It isn't a mistake, the people on Planet 89 also sent photos, and the computer has confirmed that the other party is a Super Saiyan." Salza frowned and waved his hand. "Okay, I will report this to the king, you can go." "But Lord is training at the moment. Do you want to be his punching bag?" "No, please excuse me." After the soldier left, Nais, who looked like a lizard, asked, "Salza, do we really not need to inform the Lord?" "Of course. Lord has reached the most critical moment in his training. And he told before that unless the Super Saiyan comes, he can't be disturbed no matter what happens. Or do you want to try?" Salza said. Nais quickly shook his head. No, I don't dare." Not far from them, in a specially reinforced training room, Cooler's body was constantly changing. "I must surpass the limits of the frost demons. I want to master a new form that even my father has never mastered." In the blink of an eye, half a year passed. After relying on instant transmission and spaceship, Lin Chen finally collected 4 Super Dragon Balls after traveling almost half of the universe. These 4 Dragon Balls were scattered in almost every corner of the universe. Even with Dragon Ball radar and instant transmission, they were not easy to find. One of the main reasons is that they may have not been used for at least 10 million years, so except for the first Super Dragon Ball that Lin Chen found, the other 2 Super Dragon Balls didn't look like Dragon Balls at all from outside, instead they looked like ordinary planets. And the 6-star bead that Lin Chen finally found, not only looks very similar to ordinary terrestrial planets from outside, but it also has colonies with people living in them. If it weren't for Lin Chen's repeated confirmation, it would be really hard to believe that this planet is the Dragon Ball itself. After successfully obtaining the 6-star bead, all the Super Dragon Balls in Universe 7 have fallen into his hands. According to Lin Chen's memory, Super Dragon Balls were scattered in Universe 6 and Universe 7. The universe he is in now should be Universe 7, but he doesn't remember how many of them were in Universe 7 in the original work. However, after wandering around most of the universe, he did not find any signal for new Dragon Balls. There are only 3 Dragon Balls in Universe 7. So the remaining 4 are in Universe 6. Lin Chen muttered softly. In comparison, Tights and Han-Asia were both excited. We are finally going to Universe 6. I wonder what it's like over there. Hannah, will there be Saiyans over there? There should be. Didn't Lin Chen say that Universe 6 and Universe 7 are twin universes? Not only Saiyan, but Earthlings should be there too, right? Compared to the 2 excited women, Lin Chen was not so happy. Unknown Universe 6, if it wasn't for Dragon Balls, he really didn't want to go there. Because unlike the lazy god of destruction Beerus in Universe 7, Universe 6's god of destruction Kamehame-ha is always awake. Although the twin brother of Beerus is also not a hardworking god of destruction, if Kamehame-ha knew that he is going to Universe 6 to gather the Dragon Balls, it is very likely that something dangerous would happen. Lin Chen glanced at his system space, and there was a special Hoi-Poi capsule in it. If the worst happens, what's in the capsule is his last trump card. I hope a time doesn't come where I have to use it. Thinking of this, Lin Chen left the spaceship with the 2 of them. After preparing everything, he started his first instant transmission across the universe. After a brief flash of light, the silhouettes of the 3 people suddenly became blurred, and they soon disappeared from the outer space. When they reappeared, the 3 of them appeared on an uninhabited planet. Quickly bringing out of the spaceship, the 3 of them returned to the spaceship and then, they immediately used the galaxy observer on the ship to confirm their position. When she saw the prompt on the screen that they couldn't check the star map, Tight said excitedly, Lin Chen, we really came to a different universe. This is Universe 6. While Tights and Han-Asia were excitedly looking outside, Lin Chen raised his guard and used his aura to sense the surroundings. He even teleported directly out of the spaceship and looked around. Your Majesty, what's wrong? Han-Asia asked using the communicator. Lin Chen didn't answer, instead continued to be on guard. But after a while, Lin Chen returned to the spaceship. It seems that I was overly paranoid. Lin Chen, what's the matter? I've never seen you so cautious before. Tights asked in surprise. You can't be too careful. You may not know, but it is normally troublesome to travel between different universes. I'm worried that our arrival may attract the attention of some strong people. Lin Chen explained. Strong people? How strong can they be? Are they stronger than you, Your Majesty? Han-Asia laughed. With my current strength, if I meet those people, I'm afraid they can kill me with just one thought. Lin Chen smiled bitterly. What? Tights and Han-Asia's eyes widened. Especially the latter, she found it quite incredulous. Lin Chen continued to explain, the strong people I am talking about are called God of Destruction and Angel. They should be considered as deities. You already know that there are 12 universes in the world, and each universe has a God of Destruction and Angel. God of Destruction is a god whose sole duty is destruction. Destroying a galaxy is just a matter of snapping their fingers. And angels are God of Destruction's attendants, but in fact, they are teachers of God of Destruction and are more powerful than God of Destruction. Our Universe 7's God of Destruction likes to sleep, so he rarely appears in front of common people. The last time he appeared was before I became Saiyan's king. But Universe 6's God of Destruction is different. We crossed through the universe this time. If the other party notices it, maybe they will appear in front of us. Tell me, if they don't like us, or don't want us to touch their universe Dragon Balls, what could we do? Tights and Han-Asia's eyes were full of shock, they didn't expect such a powerful existence in this world. As for Lin Chen's question, they didn't know how to answer it. Okay, I just said it was possible. It seems that the other party should not have noticed us. The universe is so big and there are so many things happening, it is normal for them to not notice us. Let's go quickly. When Lin Chen and the others left quickly in the spaceship, they didn't know that in the higher level world of Universe 6, a woman with long silver-gray hair and a halo floating around her neck was observing their every move through the crystal ball above the scepter in her hand. "Oh, I can't believe that someone would come from another universe. How many years has it been since this happened? And did he just use Supreme Kai's instant transmission? But he doesn't look like a Supreme Kai or an attendant of a god. Interesting." The woman chuckled, turned around and looked at the fat figure lying on a reclining chair beside her, who was snoring and scratching his buttocks. "Since Kamehame-ha is resting, he'll let you pass time." Afterwards, the woman observed with interest as if she was watching a movie. Time passed quickly, and in the blink of an eye, half a month passed. But Lin Chen and the others still haven't found the whereabouts of a single Dragon Ball in Universe 6. Because Purunga only gave Lin Chen a single coordinate of Universe 6, he doesn't know the specific locations of the galaxies, which made Lin Chen unable to teleport there. Lin Chen's instant transmission can only be carried out after knowing the specific location, so for a while, they could only rely on the spaceship to find the whereabouts of the Dragon Balls in the universe. However, because of this, the supplies on their spaceship were also being consumed rapidly. "Lin Chen, our energy supply is running out. It is best to find a planet to replenish it." One day, seeing the prompt on the dashboard, Tights reminded Lin Chen. "Isn't there any in Hoi Poi capsule?" Lin Chen said. "It's all used up, don't forget that we've been out for almost half a year. Not just energy, but also food." Tights frowned, holding several empty Hoi Poi capsules in her hands. Saiyan's appetite is well known. Although Lin Chen prepared a lot of food and water, it wasn't enough for his and Hanesia's consumption. And the energy of the spaceship is also a big consumption. This is also due to the fact that in Universe 7, Lin Chen often only used instant transmission and they were able to fly continuously for half a year without any need for replenishing supplies. But in Universe 6, the situation is very different. "Okay, then let's find a planet to replenish it. It would be best if it is a planet with advanced civilization, so that we can obtain a star map." Tights reminded. "Okay." After Lin Chen said that, he sensed the surroundings, and soon, he found a planet full of signs of life not far from them. "Found it." The three of them immediately put away the spaceship, and then relied on Lin Chen's instant transmission to arrive directly near the planet. It was a water-blue planet, about the size of Earth, and on the surface of the planet, they could see many spaceships arriving and leaving. "Wow! Great! This should be a civilized planet," Tight said excitedly. "Come, let's go down and take a look." Lin Chen grabbed the two women, and then teleported on the surface of the planet. Most of the surface of the planet was covered in seawater, and there were only a few lands on the planet. Most of the inhabitants of the planet live on huge ships that surround the land. Looking at the ships, the technology level of this planet should be good, at least much more advanced than that of Earth. But what made Lin Chen and the others baffled was that the atmosphere on the planet was not right. Whether on land or on ships in the nearby sea, you can see spaceships taking off from time to time and heading towards outer space. An enormous spaceship that was several kilometers long was also rising from the sea and was flying towards outer space. "Lin Chen, why does it look like they are fleeing?" Tights asked. "I feel like they are moving," Hanesia said. "I'll go ask." Seeing this, Lin Chen walked towards a few hurrying pedestrians nearby. This planet is inhabited by a kind of demi-human race, whose physique is similar to that of humans, but their skin is blue, and under the ears, fish gills can be seen, just like the legendary mermaid, but with feet. Lin Chen stopped a few passers-by who were carrying a lot of luggage and asked, "Excuse me, can you tell me what happened here?" "What happened here?" Lin Chen walked over. Without even opening his mouth, the other party understood what he meant. In the last World Martial Arts Tournament, Lin Chen was rewarded with Kamehameha magic, which included telepathy magic. It was much more convenient than looking for some translation machine. After some understanding, Lin Chen realized that this planet covered by a large area of ocean is called Planet Vegeta, and it is a well-known tourist destination in Universe 6. However, not long ago, because the king of this planet owed a lot of money, this planet was purchased by an alien called Plant. Now the actual ruler of this planet has changed from the original King Demer to Plant, and this Plant is a well-known big businessman in Universe 6, who specializes in running planetary real estate. Currently, Plant is driving all the Demers out of their homes, because he plans to transform the planet into a tourist attraction. The lands on the entire planet will be transformed into a super hotel, and the Demers who originally lived on that was asked by Plant to leave the planet within a time limit. The bustling scenes that Lin Chen and the others are seeing now is the scene of the Demers, who have lost their homes, preparing to migrate with their families. Those huge spaceships above the sea are the colony spaceships of Demers. After knowing the situation of this planet, Lin Chen was speechless. He didn't expect that there would be such a nation in the world. Even though they have lost their homeland, and now they are being driven out of their homeland, they accepted it calmly. Didn't any of you want to resist? This is your homeland, right? The Demer shook his head helplessly. It's not that no one wants to resist, but Plant is a famous businessman in the whole universe and he is surrounded by many expert bodyguards. All those who want to resist have already been killed by his people. Hearing his words, Lin Chen used his scouter to check. Indeed, Demers are all very weak, only a few dozen power level, but on one of the lands, there are many people with a power level of several thousand and one of them even has a power level of over 5 million. There is such a huge disparity in strength, no wonder no one dares to resist. Lin Chen shook his head helplessly. He didn't intend to meddle in others' business, after all, it was Demers themselves who lost the planet first. Therefore, Lin Chen just inquired about the location of the local market, and after confirming that he could purchase supplies there, he left with Tights and the others. On the way, listening to Lin Chen talk about the planet's situation, Tights and Han Asia both exclaimed in disbelief. The former was surprised that someone can directly purchase a planet, and the latter found the cowardice of Demers incredulous. But like Lin Chen, neither of them thought about meddling in other people's business. After a while, the three people came to the market. Although the people on the entire planet were busy moving, since they are moving, naturally many people will need to prepare supplies for their migration journey. So the market was still very lively. Soon, Lin Chen found a store that could provide energy supplies and negotiated an energy purchase deal. In exchange, Lin Chen just used 3 hoi poi capsules to get enough energy for the spaceship to travel for a year. Just like in Universe 7, hoi poi capsule from Earth is a very rare spatial technology in Universe 6, and it was invaluable to those Demers. Lin Chen exchanged a lot of energy for 3 hoi poi capsules, and with 10 hoi poi capsules, he bought a lot of food. Hoi poi capsule was simply a magical tool for the Demers who are going to migrate. Therefore, although they have already got what they need, many people still come looking for Lin Chen to buy 1 or 2 hoi poi capsules. When Lin Chen and others were completely surrounded by a group of Demers, suddenly, 3 aircrafts rushed over. Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Ah! It's Plant's aircraft. The Demers surrounding them instantly went silent before they stepped aside to create a path. I heard that someone here is selling a capsule that can store things. Who is it? The 3 aircrafts landed in front of Lin Chen, then a chubby, blonde-haired alien with slick-back hairstyle walked down, followed by a group of alien bodyguards of various appearances but powerful aura. This blonde-haired alien is Plant, the universe real estate developer who controls Planet Vegeta. Hearing his words, all the Demers at the scene pointed towards Lin Chen. It's you. You're not a Demer. Plant looked at Lin Chen and asked. That's right. Lin Chen nodded. Hearing this, Plant immediately smiled maliciously. If that's the case, then hand over all your capsules. Planet Vegeta is already my private territory, and I have already enacted a law. Except for the Demers who haven't migrated yet, it is forbidden for others to enter this planet without permission. Give me your capsules, and I'll spare you for trespassing, otherwise, I don't mind having my people throw you all into the sea." Hearing his words, Lin Chen picked his ears and looked at him with an amused look on his face. Lin Chen had already used his magic on Hanasia and Tights, so they could understand Plant's words, and they couldn't help but laugh when they heard him. "What are you laughing at? Hurry up and obediently hand them over." Furious, Plant waved behind him, intending to have his subordinates use force. Seeing this, Lin Chen couldn't help but shake his head again. They had planned to ignore the matters of this planet, and they were ready to leave as soon as the purchase was completed. Now since this real estate developer is courting death, he can't blame them. "Your Majesty! Let me!" Hanasia clenched her fists with an eager look on her face. Then, without waiting for Lin Chen's approval, she exploded out with an astonishing aura. The people on the whole street were immediately blown away. "Go! Kill her!" Plant exclaimed, but before his guards could react, as if a wolf had entered a flock of sheep, Hanasia killed them all with ease. At this moment, Plant was already badly frightened, and he hurriedly fled to his aircraft in panic and was about to run away. "Don't run away." It was a rare opportunity for Hanasia to show off, and she didn't want to miss it. Just as she was about to catch up, a huge golden spaceship suddenly flew from a distance and hovered above her head, causing Hanasia to pause and watch. Because she could sense that a guy with an enormous power level was glaring at her from the golden spaceship. Taking advantage of the moment when Hanasia stopped, Plant's aircraft entered the golden spaceship. Immediately afterwards, his rage-filled voice sounded from the golden spaceship. "You fools! How dare you cause trouble on my territory? Just you wait. I want all of you to die." At this moment, a tall man flew out of the spaceship, arrived before Hanasia and said arrogantly, "Woman! Do you know who you provoked just now? Immediately kneel down and beg for mercy. Considering that you have somewhat good looks, I can talk to Plant and let you become a slave." "Huh? Who do you think you are?" Hanasia said with an amused look on her face. But at this time, on the ground, Lin Chen heard the Demers exclaim, "It's Master Horn." "Master Horn?" Lin Chen asked in surprise. A Demer said, "He is the bodyguard invited by Plant, and he is a famous expert in the universe." "Run away. Although that woman is very powerful, she can't be Master Horn's match. 5 million power level, it's not wrong to say that he is an expert. But it's a pity that he encountered us." Lin Chen shook his head. At this moment, when Hanasia heard Horn's words, a cold look flashed on Hanasia's face. "You want me to be a slave? You must be courting death." The next moment, Hanasia's aura completely erupted out. Boom! She instantly transformed into Super Saiyan form. In Master Horn's hand, there was a device that looked like Scouter. When Hanasia transformed, the device beeped. Horn lowered his head and his eyes immediately widened. "This energy you. What's wrong?" Hanasia's face flashed with a smile, and then she slowly opened her fingers. "It's too late to ask for mercy. Wait. I'm just doing it for money. If you want to deal with Plant, go ahead. It's none of my business." After saying that, Horn immediately turned around to run away. But at this time, he heard a rumbling sound before the sky was filled with a white light. Hanasia shot out an energy wave that covered the sky, exuding an extremely powerful force, and suddenly slammed into the guy named Horn. This guy with a power level of over 5 million, who is qualified to be called an expert anywhere, was annihilated by Hanasia's attack, leaving behind nothing. Swish! Immediately after, Hanasia waved her palm again, and an energy bomb shot towards the golden spaceship above her head, causing sounds of explosion and flames. The energy bomb pierced through the huge spaceship, causing it to explode in the air. Countless fragments dispersed in all directions like meteorites, which frightened everyone on the planet. Because who the golden spaceship belongs to, everyone on the planet was very clear about it. Except for Plant, no one would like such a flashy golden-colored ship. Now that the ship is destroyed, could it be that Plant is also? Thinking of this, many people put down what they were doing and ran towards Plant's newly built luxury palace on the land. Then, Demers saw countless spaceships which were under Plant begin to launch into the sky one after another, escaping the planet as if they were fleeing for their lives. Not long after, the Demers knew that the Plant who had acquired their planet had died on his spaceship. Knowing this news, the Demers could hardly contain their excitement. At this time, Lin Chen and his group, who had rescued the planet easily, had already embarked on their journey again with the money swept away from Plant. Han Asia, it was enough to just deal with him. Why do you have to take all the other party's money? It's like we are robbers. In the spaceship, Lin Chen couldn't help but grumble. Han Asia rolled her eyes at him. Your Majesty, those people actually wanted to sell me as a slave. This is my compensation for emotional damage. Tights, do you think I did something wrong? Of course not. This is what you should have. Right. The two women looked at each other and smiled. Lin Chen shrugged, and while watching the Dragon Ball's reaction on the radar, he recorded the star map found on planet Demer in his mind. Although they were delayed a little on the planet, they had a very good harvest, especially the detailed star map of Universe 6. Since Demers were being forced to leave their hometown, they gathered the star map of Universe 6 through various channels, just to find a suitable new home. Now that they don't have to leave their homeland, the star map is naturally useless and was gladly accepted by Lin Chen. After calculating silently in his heart, Lin Chen said, "Okay, I now know the direction of the first Super Dragon Ball in Universe 6. Ladies, let's prepare to teleport." Okay. When Lin Chen and the others were nearing the first Super Dragon Ball in Universe 6, on a planet called Planet How. Planet How, the famous holiday planet in Universe 6, is the family headquarters of the well-known universe real estate developer Plant. But on this day, the bad news of Plant's death spread to the planet. What? Father died? Plant's eldest son stood up with a whoosh. Tell me everything you know. In front of him, one of Plant's subordinates who escaped from planet Demer told everything that happened that day. Hearing that their father died tragically, and that his killer even killed Horn, the faces of Plant's children turned gloomy. They were all clear about Horn's strength. He is a well-known powerhouse in the entire universe. Plant spent a huge amount of money to hire him as his personal bodyguard, but who could have thought that he wouldn't even be able to block one move of his opponent? The strength of the other party is completely beyond their imagination. A few of Plant's children immediately wanted to put things to rest. Their father was already dead, so there was no need to anger a strong expert for a dead man. But Plant's eldest son did not intend to let go of his father's murderer just like this. In order to avenge his father, he had a deeper idea. You idiots, if our father died and we don't retaliate at all, what will people from other companies in the universe think of us? Today if we did nothing, then in the future if these companies are not able to do better than us in the business, they will just send someone to deal with us. Because the people of the Plant family are a bunch of cowardly good-for-nothing who don't even dare to take revenge for the murder of their father. But big brother, what are you going to do? The other party even killed Horn. Someone asked. So what? A mere Horn isn't considered a real expert. So, I'm going to ask Hit to do it. Hit? Hearing this name, the people present gasped, and the temperature around them seemed to have dropped because of this name. A few days later, on a planet that was an unknown distance away from Planet How, a purple figure was standing on a tall building with a green button in his hand. He lightly pressed the button, and a holographic photo appeared in front of him. The next target is these three people. In the hologram picture, it was surprisingly Lin Chen, Han Asia, and Tights. Universe 6, God of Destruction's planet. A multicolored light ray descended from the sky and landed in the castle at the center of the sacred world. Universe SXS God of Destruction Kampa appeared from the light ray with a large bag on his back, and hurriedly ran towards his bedroom. Vados, yo go do your thing, I'm off to eat. Okay, Kampa-sama. Vados shook her head and watched with a wry smile as the God of Destruction, whom she serves, left. After resting for a few days, Kampa had woken up again and went to the mortal world to stir up trouble. After plundering a lot of delicious food, he has returned to God of Destruction's planet just now. As Kampa's attendant, Vados naturally has to accompany him everywhere and has no time of her own. Now, after finally finished with Kampa's matter, Vados picked up the scepter again and watched the 3 humans from Universe 7 that had intrigued her so much earlier. Ha! Vados softly exclaimed. Because she saw the 3 humans in front of a planet-sized orange-red glass bead. Could it be the wishing bead made by the dragon god Salama? It's the first time I've seen it. How did they find it? Could it be that they came to Universe 6 for the wishing beads? In the scene displayed by Vados' scepter, she saw Lin Chen floating in space as he lightly waved towards the Super Dragon Ball, and the Super Dragon Ball, which was larger than an average planet, disappeared. This seems to be some kind of space power. This human is really interesting. Not only can he use instant transmission, but he also has space power. Judging from his bloodline, he should be just a Saiyan. Strange, should I tell Kampa-sama? If Kampa-sama knew that someone came to Universe 6 to steal the wishing beads, he would be very angry, right? A strange gleam flashed in her bright and beautiful eyes, and after a while, Vados finally gave up on this thought. Forget it, Zalama-sama's wishing beads were originally made to make wishes come true. If this kid has the ability to take them away, let him take them. However, if Kampa-sama learns about it, I'm afraid he will be angry. In that case, should I make it more difficult for him? Vados muttered in a voice that only she could hear. She thought for a while, pinched the scepter with her fingers, tapped the ground a few times, and then another scene appeared in the scepter. So Hit is already looking for him. Hit is the strongest assassin in Universe 6. I wonder how this kid will deal with him. Then, I'll leave it to you, Hit. Vados once again tapped the scepter a few times again, and then, in a corner of the universe, Hit, who was rushing towards Planet Demer in a spaceship, immediately received a communication. The communication was sent by a text, which reminded him that his target was no longer on Planet Demer, but was in another area with detailed coordinates of it. Seeing the coordinates, Hit frowned and turned around the spaceship. This should be enough. Vados smiled faintly. As an angel, she isn't allowed to interfere with the mortal world and cannot take action against humans. Once she breaks the rules, even someone like an angel will disappear immediately. This is the law of the universe and cannot be violated. So even if she wants to deal with Lin Chen, she can't take action directly, but there is no problem in asking people from the mortal world to do it. Watching Hit gradually approach Lin Chen, Vados became more excited. At this time, Lin Chen and the others who found the first Super Dragon Ball in Universe 6 also began to search for the second Super Dragon Ball. The Dragon Ball radar is reacting. After several teleportations, the Dragon Ball radar in Tight's hand finally caught the new Dragon Ball's reaction. After confirming the direction, Lin Chen opened the Hoi-Poi capsule, led the 2 girls into the spaceship, and was about to set sail towards the Dragon Ball when he suddenly sensed a lot of familiar auras. Ha! This is Saiyan's aura. Yeah. There are a lot of them. Tight sensed it too. Only Han-Asia, who couldn't sense aura from such a long distance, was anxious like an ant on a hot pan. Saiyan. Science of Universe 6. Wow! Lin Chen, can we go and take a look? Yes, Your Majesty, Science from Universe 6, aren't you curious? Han-Asia also said. Lin Chen pondered for a while. To be honest, he also really kind of wanted to see the Science of Universe 6. He remembers that in Dragon Ball Super, Science of Universe 6 showed a better potential than Science of Universe 7. In Dragon Ball Super, there are many differences between Saiyans of Universe 6 and Saiyans of Universe 7. Although they are the same race in name, seeing the differences between the two races, they don't seem like a same race at all. For example, in terms of personality, Saiyans of Universe 6 are righteous by nature. Although there are also guys with explosive personalities, most of them are peace-loving righteous people. Unlike Universe 7, whose Saiyans were well known for their brutality, Universe 6 Saiyans are like another side of a mirror. To give another example, in terms of appearance, the Saiyans of Universe 6 are generally thinner and smaller than those of Universe 7, and for some reason, they don't have the Saiyans' most conspicuous symbol, the tail. Finally, in terms of ability, Saiyans of Universe 6, in terms of average strength, far exceed Saiyans of Universe 7 by a large margin, at least in the original work. This can be seen in the original work when Kaba, who was only an elite team member, could actually fight back and forth against Vegeta while both being in the same normal state. At that time, Vegeta was already a seasoned warrior, but without transforming into Super Saiyan, he did not even have a big advantage over Kaba. If this were replaced by Lin Chen's current world, then Kaba's power level should at least be over 1 million. Moreover, from the fact that Kaba can easily transform into a Super Saiyan, their talent and even the S-cells in their bodies is far greater than the Saiyans of Universe 7. With so many differences, it made Lin Chen really curious. So, Lin Chen finally said, "Okay, let's go and have a look first." After saying that, Lin Chen turned the spaceship and flew in the direction where they sensed Saiyan's aura. Before long, they saw a brown planet. This planet looks like Planet Vegeta. Is this Planet Vegeta of Universe 6? Hanasia asked. No. Lin Chen shook his head, this should be Planet Sadala. Sadala? Wasn't that Saiyan's original home planet? Hanasia said in surprise. Hey, Hana, what's with Sadala? Isn't Saiyan's home planet Planet Vegeta? Tights wondered. Hanasia explained, no, Saiyan's home planet is not Planet Vegeta, it is Planet Sadala. It's just that in our universe, Planet Sadala was destroyed because of Saiyan's internal strife, and the remaining Saiyans occupied another race's planet and renamed that planet to Planet Vegeta. I didn't expect Planet Sadala to still exist in Universe 6. Amazing. Brother Lin Chen, shall we go down and have a look? Tights asked. Naturally. Lin Chen nodded and controlled the spaceship to descend on Planet Sadala. Soon, they landed on the surface of the planet. When the three of them got out of the spaceship, Lin Chen and Hanasia could immediately feel a special emotion in their heart. This is Saiyan's home planet. It's just like Planet Vegeta, Tights muttered. It should be said that Planet Vegeta was chosen by Saiyans due to its conditions being similar to Planet Sadala. Lin Chen said. Just as the three of them were looking around. Shio, dozens of figures suddenly emerged from the sky and flew towards Lin Chen and the others. It's Saiyans of Planet Sadala. Hanasia said, so strong, these people's power level is almost the same as mine. The people who had arrived were indeed Planet Sadala's Saiyans. Using the scouter to probe, they discovered that all these people's power level was over 1 million, and some of them even had more than 1.5 million, which is slightly stronger than Hanasia's. It couldn't help but cause Hanasia's expression to turn tense. The Saiyans quickly landed on the ground, and although they were dispersed, they had faintly already surrounded Lin Chen and the others. Then, a burly man among them took the lead as he stepped forward and asked, "Who are you? Why did you enter Saiyan's territory?" "Your Majesty." "It's okay, I'll deal with it." Lin Chen smiled as he stepped forward and greeted them, "Hello, we are travelers from outer space. We just found out that there are signs of life on this planet, so we came down to have a look." "Travelers?" The burly man glanced at them, "Why do I feel you guys look quite similar to Saiyans?" At this moment, another Saiyan suddenly walked up to the burly man and pointed towards Lin Chen and Hanasia with a nervous expression. Lin Chen noticed that the direction of his finger seemed to be the tail coiled around their waists. Tail. Why do you have tails? We're Saiyans, of course we have a tail. Hanasia swayed her tail. But she didn't expect those Saiyans to suddenly cry out in alarm. Tail. It's really tail. The woman said she is a Saiyan. Saiyans with tails. They are deviants. The burly man then raised his right hand and shouted, Sadala Defense Force. Prepare for battle. In an instant, the surrounding Saiyans' aura erupted out and they looked as if they were going to fight. This confused Lin Chen and the others. Excuse me sir, please don't misunderstand, we are not your enemies. We were just passing by. Lies. You are deviants, you must have come to planet Sadala with bad intentions. A Saiyan next to him shouted. After he said that, the others looked ready to attack them. Seeing that they were about to move, Lin Chen knew that it was useless to just rely on talking. So, he raised his head and a soul-chilling cold light flashed in his black eyes, and a stormy aura suddenly swept out. Lin Chen's current power level in normal state was more than 7 million. Even without transforming into Super Saiyan, he is far above these people. Saiyans of planet Sadala don't have equipment like Universe 7 Scouter, but they seem to have mastered key sense just like the Earthlings. Sensing the earth-shattering aura that erupted out from Lin Chen, they revealed a panicked look. They, who were planning to attack, couldn't help but stop. Seeing this, Lin Chen also restrained his aura and said, to tell you the truth, I only used less than 1% of my full strength just now. What? Impossible. How can such a terrifying power be only 1%? Could he be the legendary demon Saiyan? Oh no, we can't possibly win against such an opponent. Noticing the fear on their faces, Lin Chen was confused and said, but don't worry, I have no ill intentions. Their leader hurriedly shouted, You really have no ill intentions? If I had ill intentions, do you think you would still be alive? Lin Chen asked rhetorically. Hearing this, the Saiyan swallowed and said, I see, Sadala Defense Force, let's step down for now. Captain Renso. Everyone retreat, you should have felt the aura of this mister just now. All of you go and reassure everyone first, don't cause trouble, I will entertain this mister and his friends. This is an order. At these words, the others, though reluctant, obeyed the order and withdrew for the time being. After that, the Saiyan named Renso planned to bring Lin Chen and the others to a place. But Lin Chen thought for a moment and still said, Forget it, Mr. Renso, it seems that your planet has a misunderstanding about Saiyans with tails like me. If I walk around randomly, you people would be very worried, right? Then how about going to our spaceship? I want to know about your planet Sadala. Alright. Renso nodded. Soon after, Lin Chen received Renso in the spaceship's lounge. After some self-introduction, everyone learned that this Saiyan is Renso, the captain of planet Sadala's defense force. Here, drink this, it is called coffee on our side. Your side. Renso was stunned for a moment before looking at the brown liquid in front of him. He took a sip and immediately looked surprised. By now, I don't think there is anything to hide. Mr. Renso, to tell you the truth, we are not actually from this universe. Hanasia and I are Saiyans from another universe, and Tights is from a place called Earth from another universe. Earth? You don't seem to be lying since as far as I know, Earth in my world should have been destroyed. Renso was stunned. Huh? Earth in this world has been destroyed? Tights asked in surprise. Renso nodded, yes, I heard that the planet destroyed itself because of the war before it could develop into a civilization that could enter the universe, so there should be no Earthlings in this world. I really didn't expect. Tights looked dumbfounded. Lin Chen suddenly said, Mr. Renso, I just heard someone call us demon Saiyans. What's going on? Do you also have Saiyans with a tail? I thought you don't have tails because of the differences in the universe. No, I heard that a long time ago, the Saiyans of planet Sadala also had tails, but later on, because of something, all the Saiyans abandoned their tails. What happened? Lin Chen asked curiously. It's because of a legend passed down on planet Sadala. Renso laughed. You guys are lucky that you met me. As the captain of the Sadala Defense Force, I have read some documents. If it was someone else, they would have forgotten those ancient legends long ago. Renso started talking about the story he had seen in the documents. It is said that a long time ago, when all Saiyans still had tails, a demon suddenly appeared one day and broke the peace on the planet Sadala. Demon? Lin Chen frowned. Yes, no one knows his real identity. Only in the oldest books of Sadala, he is called Demon Saiyan. Renso said solemnly. In the beginning, this demon Saiyan looked like everyone else, and no one felt that there was anything wrong. But gradually, wherever he went, Saiyans, who loved peace, became violent, bloodthirsty and aggressive. In addition to that, a special technique gradually became prevalent among these changed Saiyans. It's a technique of concentrating energy. It looks just like an energy ball, but if this energy ball is thrown into the sky and it gets mixed with oxygen, the energy ball will turn into a bright ball of light, and every Saiyan who sees this ball of light will become a kind of terrifying monster. You mean a gorilla? Han-Asia interrupted. Renso was stunned for a moment, then he showed a hint of understanding. That's right, it's a gorilla, it seems you know about it too. Han-Asia was puzzled, but turning into a gorilla, isn't that Saiyan's traditional unique skill? As long as a Saiyan sees the full moon, they will. Planet Sadala has no moon. Tite said suddenly. Ha! Han-Asia was taken aback. Renso nodded and said, yes, planet Sadala has no moon. At that time, Saiyans still hadn't entered the universe, so we never knew that Saiyans had this ability. When this technique began to spread, Saiyans everywhere transformed into gorillas. According to records, after a Saiyan transforms into a gorilla, they would become more brutal, and at the same time, they would also feel abnormal pleasure. After many people became addicted to this, the originally peaceful planet Sadala had then turned into hell. Cities were destroyed, and Saiyans' world began to fall into chaos, but just at that time, a savior appeared. The savior discovered that the Saiyans' transformation power came from their tail, so he took the initiative to pull out his own tail, and then told the secret to others. Since then, Saiyans, who did not want to associate with evil, cut off their tail and allowed the chaos to be controlled. Only by that time, a considerable number of Saiyans had been enticed by the demon Saiyan and become depraved and evil. They refused to cut off their tails, and instead gathered around the demon Saiyan and provoked a war with the Saiyans who wanted peace. After a hard-fought war, our savior finally gathered all the peace-loving Saiyan, destroyed the demon Saiyan and his subordinates, and restored the peace of planet Sadala. After the war, in order to avoid the return of the demon Saiyan, our savior used his divine power to seal the tail of Saiyans. Since then, no Saiyans could grow tails, and likewise, planet Sadala no longer had to worry about the threat of monsters, and everything returned to peace. This is the story I read in the ancient documents. After saying that, Renso picked up the cup of coffee, took a big sip and let out a long breath. Ha! This thing is so delicious, it seems to have a refreshing effect. Can I have another cup? Of course. Tite smiled and took his cup before pouring him another cup. At this time, Lin Chen had fallen silent. Because of Renso's story, he remembered a legend. A legend about the origins of Saiyan. In fact, there is also a legend about the civil strife among Saiyans during ancient times on Planet Vegeta in Universe 7. However, unlike Universe 6, where the civil strife was successfully suppressed, in Universe 7, the civil strife among Saiyans caused them to lose their home planet Sadala and were finally forced to emigrate to Planet Vegeta, which was called Planet Plant at that time. This is a well-known story known by Saiyans, including Han-Asia. Then, behind this story, there is also a secret that only Lin Chen knows among the Saiyans of Universe 7. In the civil strife in Universe 7, one of the sides in the Saiyan civil strife at that time was a force led by an ancient Saiyan named Yamoshi. Yamoshi was a kind and righteous Saiyan. During the civil strife, he and another 5 good and righteous Saiyan companions once fought against other cruel Saiyans. In the end, Yamoshi used the power of the other 5 people to transform into Super Saiyan God. However, due to being heavily outnumbered and physically unable to bear the burden of Super Saiyan God, Yamoshi and his companions were eventually killed by the cruel Saiyans. Now, combined with what he just heard from Renso, Lin Chen suddenly has a bold guess about the origins of Saiyan in his Universe 7. It is very likely that the Saiyans of Universe 6 and Universe 7 were originally of the same race. However, in the civil unrest that followed, the Saiyans of the 2 universes went to different endings. In Universe 6, the righteous Saiyan won, leading Saiyan to the light. While in Universe 7, it is clear that the righteous side led by Yamoshi lost the war, and the evil Saiyans led by the demon Saiyan won the war, which led to the destruction of Saiyan's hometown planet Sadala. I see, that's why I thought it was a little weird at first. Lin Chen pondered in his heart. In fact, after Lin Chen became the king of Saiyans, he has been thinking about a question. To transform into a Super Saiyan, you need to rely on S-cells, and S-cells need to be generated in a peaceful environment. So why are Saiyans on Planet Vegeta, by nature, warlike and evil? It is totally illogical that to transform into the most powerful form of a race, they need to be in an environment that is totally contrary to the nature of their race. But now that he knows the point of divergence between the 2 world Saiyans, Lin Chen understands a little. In fact, the situation of Super Saiyan is not illogical at all. Because Saiyans have a peace-loving nature, just like Saiyans in Universe 6. But in that civil strife of Saiyans of Universe 7, the Saiyan force representing Evil won, which caused the whole race to degenerate, thus the nature of the kind-hearted Saiyans twisted into evil. Super Saiyan, who could easily emerge, has become a legend because of this. The powerful Saiyan race kept degenerating because of this, and finally became the lackey of others. The source of all this is the demon Saiyan, who caused the Saiyans to degenerate. However, there was something that was puzzling Lin Chen. In Universe 6, the demon Saiyan should have been wiped out by the righteous side at the end. While in Universe 7, the demon Saiyan was the victor. That being the case, where is Universe 7's demon Saiyan? How did he disappear amidst history? Did a god make a move? Or is there another secret?